So we can check our sine law for example 2, where we have the side lengths of 12, 8, and the angle of 25 degrees. Okay, so I'm just going to move these around. So I'm just going to try to make this a little bit. So I'm going to make this bottom side 12 approximately. Okay, and I'm going to try to make this side length, the angle here, 25 degrees. These are overlapping here, but 25. And I'm going to try to make my side length 8. Oops. Let's move this over a little bit. My side length is going to be about 8. There you go. And I need to make it 25 degrees, so I have to kind of angle it out a little bit more. And again, I just have to play around with this a little bit. So you're going to have to play around with it a little bit, but I'm going to shorten that length. That's maybe about as close as I can get. Maybe get a little bit better. That's about good enough. So basically I can show that I have this is going to be about 100, I calculated 115.66, and again based on my inaccuracies, just the diagram's a little bit off. 8.01, 8.1, basically 12. This is almost 25 degrees, and our lengths are about consistent. I calculate 17.06 for here. Now, I kind of did talk about that, the fact that there is a different triangle that could be made with this same length and angle. So I'm going to try to keep this 25 degrees, and I'm going to keep this try to see if I can keep it a length of 8. Now, it's kind of hard to do, but it is possible that I could have a length of 8 and still at 25 degrees. Okay, so it's not quite right, but there's about 12, about 8, and about 25 degrees, and I could make a different triangle. And notice that the sine law is consistent for all this. Yeah, sine A over A, sine B over B, they all equal. In this case, the ratio is 0.0523. That ratio is largely not that important, but essentially it's the sine law is working for this triangle versus, and I'm just going to try to get back to that old triangle there. It's about somewhere around about there, right? Okay, and yeah, so I get the sine law is still working for this particular triangle. Okay, so there is this issue that maybe there are two different triangles that can be made given this angle, side, and side. And we would probably need to investigate that a little bit further.